Hello, everybody. How are you all doing? Bill Thornton, SoCalsabre here. I'm back from Vegas and the APBA championship up there. No trophy this year, though. But what I'm going to do today is I'm going to do a wrap up for you. I'm going to talk a little bit about the tournament and all the teams that played. Then I'm going to show you how my teams got to where they ended up, and who they played, then some of my players' stats. So I'm going to bring up a slideshow to show you here in a second. But before we do, please go down there and hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't done so yet. It really helps the channel grow. And comments mean a lot. Do you play APBA? Have you ever been to the Vegas tournament? Do you play in any tournaments? Let me know. I'd like to get back with you on it. And if you don't play APBA, what baseball games do you play? Let's get this video. That should do it. There we are, the 2024 APBA Las Vegas Championship. All right. So we've got just a little slideshow. It's not going to take us too long, so bear with me. And here we go. The first thing we got is a picture of most of the gang. There was a few guys that were missing for some reason when the picture was taken, but that's most of the gang that was there. You can see me there on the left with my Detroit hat, standing behind the guy that won the tournament. Yeah. All right. But I wasn't this last loser this time. So that was pretty good. You recognize any of these people? All right. Well, we're going to move on again. So here's what happened. After the 12 games, I played 9 the first day and 3 the second day. As you can see way down here, 5 and 7. After the first day, I was 4 and 5, and I went to my room that night and I thought, man, if I win out tomorrow, I'll be 7 and 5, and I think I'd make the playoffs. When I was talking to Chris White, the director, early before the tournament, the second day started, he says, yeah, 7 and 5 are winning, but you got to punch out. I said, yeah, I know, but it's not impossible. Well, as you can see, I didn't punch out. But anyway, I wasn't too far off there. I'm not sure even if I had punched out because of what the run differential would have been. See how these guys were 7 and 5? The run differentials right here, I would have to have beaten a 3 run differential. Well, of course, and then if I punched out, I probably would have. Right? Okay. So then the second day, we played 3 games, and then the playoffs started. Now I'm going to show you the playoff standing set up right next, and then I'll be going into my 84 Tigers and show you who they played and what they did. All right, this was the final 8 that made the playoffs. It's the best of 3. As you can see, most of them didn't go 3. And the winner was down here in the bottom, Randy Bragg with the 1976 Reds. He was the final. He was the champion. So that, it was fun. I didn't make the playoffs again, but I've made the playoffs 2 out of the last 5 or 6 years. So that's pretty cool just in itself there. And I brought home 2 trophies. So here's the Tigers. On day 1, as you can see, we started off great. We beat the 53 Dodgers 8-2 in game number 1. I was thinking to myself, wow, this is really going to be a good tournament. And then 5 straight losses. I just could not. 2 runs scored in this one, and 3 runs in this one, 4 in this one, 4 in that one. I just couldn't get past the curve. So then we got to see, I think I'm in a mistake here. I think this is this game here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a mistake. The scores are different. It was 4 for Pittsburgh and 6 for Detroit because I won after losing. I won 1 and I lost 5 in a row. Then I won my last 3 games of day 1 to make me 4 and 6. This was a fun one. This one against the Yankees. It was 11 innings. It was nothing after 9. The Yankees scored 1 in the top of the 10th, and I scored 1 in the bottom of the 10th to win it. Then I held them in the 11th, and then I scored 1 in the 11th. So people ask, well, what do they do about extra inning games during the tournament to shorten them? Well, starting in the 11th, all pitchers are Ds and the numbers don't count. Y's, X's, and that do not count. There's nothing there. And so, and Z's. So that makes it kind of interesting, kind of like having that free guy out on second base in the MLB. So then we went into day 2, knowing that I had to punch out. I lost right off the bat. In that Giant game, the first game, guy hit 3 2-run homers against me. Then the next game, the guy hit 5 home runs against me. Well, I ended up in pretty good shape. I beat the 48 Cleveland, 11-4. 48 Cleveland made it to the playoffs, I believe. I'd have to go back and look again. But I hit like 4 or 5 home runs in that one. So it took me out on a good note, even though I didn't punch out in that. And here's some of the 84 Tigers stats from the tournament. As you can see, the best hitter I had was Kurt Gibson, comes in at 348 with 8 RBIs. He was tied for the RBI lead with Howard Johnson. Second hitter was Rupert Jones at 344. Excuse me, there. So, that's pretty good. This is, I don't know why this one didn't figure out here. He's 0 for 3. This is wrong. He was 2 for 3. That's why he wasn't 0-0. But anyway, a couple things let me down. Darryl, I expected Lance Parrish to do better than hitting 100. Yeah, I did hit 2 home runs, drove in 5, but I expect the cleanup guy to hit a little bit better than that. Darrell Evans, the next power man, he hit 3 dingers, drove in 7. So I had him bet down further in the order. Larry Herndon got off to a good start, and then he kind of died off. And the 245. Howard Johnson was pretty consistent. I had thought after the first game of maybe giving Tom Brookins some play at third base for Howard Johnson, but Johnson was consistent, and he ended up tied for the most RBIs in the tournament with 8. So that wasn't a bad decision on my part. Pitching coming up here. Here we go. Jack Morris, Petrie, and Wilcox all started 4 games. Morris was 2-1, Petrie 1-2, Wilcox 0-1. I couldn't get a lot of this data because of the way the score sheets were handled in that, but I got enough to be able to get the wins, losses, and runs, and the ERAs. So Morris had a pretty good 191 ERA in there in the tournament. Petrie could have been better. Petrie was 0-2 going into the last game. He got the complete game win in that last game. Get him down to 445. Willie Hernandez, 10 relief appearances, 1-0-1. Okay, 17 innings, 6-6. I guess I can't complain to 3.18, but Willie Hernandez was better than that. Aurelio Lopez, Willie was he was a AXZ pitcher. Aurelio Lopez, because up there in the top, Morris and Petrie were both BYZs. Wilcox was a CYZ. So Aurelio Lopez was going to be the savior for me if I can get Wilcox to 5 and say I had to take out Morris or Petrie early. He would come in with his B, and I forget what his numbers were right now. But look at that. Didn't come through for me. 12.5 appearances, 2 losses he took. That means he was really stinking it up for me. That's could have been the difference in the tournament for me. Bill Scherr came in on 2. He had 1 loss. That didn't surprise me. He was a C something, and then Bear got a win. He came in and pitched 2 innings, got a win. That was pretty cool. But 9.0 in his 2 innings, he let up 2 runs. Oh, well. So anyway, take you back up to the top again. Show you what the final standings were for everybody. Like I said, and this Randy Bragg here, who was the 2nd seed going into the playoffs, he won it all. He was 9-3. I was 9-3 the first year that I was up there that I went to the finals, but I didn't win it. I came in 2nd. This guy down here with the 75 Reds, Andy Rumpel, beat me then. And then the other time, another guy beat me, but they weren't at the tournament this time. So I hope you enjoyed that. That was my wrap up. I did have a fun week. I enjoyed my company up there, and I didn't have to drive. My daughter drove up there and back, and so that was kind of nice. So I'm looking forward to next year. I mean, Chris is talking about the possibility of having 2 tournaments next year, one in Vegas and one in Tempe. And if the Tempe one he was talking about maybe around MLB preseason time, that would be really, really cool. So SoCalSabre saying thank you very much, folks, for stopping by. Take care of yourselves out there. Be kind to each other and stay safe.